ViconNet Scheduler Basics. Configuring the scheduler enables you to have specific macros run at specific times. This enables the system to automatically display cameras, record cameras, turn a relay on or off, and perform other macro commands. To schedule a macro correctly, first create the macro as the commands required through the macro editor, and then decide how and when you want that macro to run. Remember that schedules and macros can only run on the units where they are created. In this clip, we will create two schedules. The first schedule is for Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. The second is for a 24/7 duration, every day, all day. After launching the application, log into your system. Enter the main setup screen by pressing the setup button at the top of the screen. Select your unit, which will be the first in the list, and press the select button. Then enter the scheduler setup by pressing the Schedule for Macros button on the System Settings screen. Any previously created schedules are listed on the screen with a summary of their activation days and times, as well as which macro will be activated. To create a new schedule, press the Add button. Select the macro you want the schedule to run from the Macro section, Macro List. Note, if you have not yet created the macro, exit the screen and first create your macro from the Macro Editor Setup screen. Determine when you want this macro to be activated. Select the days from the Start Day area list. Checkmark the days you want. For Monday through Friday, all days are checked except Saturday and Sunday. The scheduler can run a macro in one of three options. Run continuously, which means the macro will continuously run throughout the duration selected. For example, a system that needs continuous recording, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Launch every, which means the macro will be reactivated throughout the duration you select. The reactivation will occur as often as selected from the drop-down list. For example, a set of particular cameras selected to be viewed every 5 minutes. Run a certain number of cycles, which means the macro will run in its entirety as many cycles as selected. For example, a recurring display of particular cameras for 3 rotations. In this example, the scheduler will run continuously between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. In the active section, enter 9 a.m. for the from time and 5 p.m. for the to time. Note, if the to time is after midnight, the words next day will be displayed next to the time. This indicates that the macro will stop at this time on the following day. If you require this schedule to run on a specific date, in addition to the days and times already selected, press the Add Date button in the Specific Dates section of the screen. You can select as many specific dates as needed by repeating this process. When you have entered all the relevant information for the schedule, press the Save button at the bottom of the screen. This will save the schedule. Note, if the schedule is meant to run now, then the macro will be activated. To create a new schedule, press the Add button. Select the macro you want this schedule to run from the Macro section, Macro List. Determine when you want this macro to be activated. Select the days from the Start Day area list. For 7 days a week, all days are checked. This is the default selection. In this example, the scheduler will run continuously 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. For 24 hours, the from time and to time need to be the same. The words next day will appear next to the to time. This is the default selection. Note, it does not matter what the time selected is as long as the from and to time are the same. When you have entered all the relevant information for the schedule, press the Save button at the bottom of the screen. This will save the schedule. Note, if the schedule is meant to run now, then the macro will be activated.